What's up? Welcome back. CageCast. It's Mike. Sorry for the delay, guys. I had some dental work done, but I'm back in the octagon, ready to go. We're going to do a Saturday night fights, and tonight I've got Olwhitee on again. How's it going,
Hey,
Olwhitee?
glad to be back. Everything's good. Glad to be back.
Well, couldn't get Jason on tonight. He's got to knock a few things out. He'll actually be here in town this weekend, so we're going to do a podcast again this weekend. Probably not during the fights, but we'll get something going on. So he had to skip out tonight so he could make it through the weekend. No worries. Me and Whitey, I think we're on the same page on this one. We got Machado Garry versus Prates. I think we were all going back and forth last week, and I think you were going to pick Machado Garry. You still going with that, Pops?
I'm still going with Gary, even though he's coming off a loss. We were just talking about that a few minutes ago. It's not like he got beat up. He just lost. I mean, he was still having a pretty good night, and even though Pradas is a monster, I think Gary's going to take him. Probably knock him out.
Gary's been more active. Um, the reach is an advantage for Prates. He's definitely got like almost 4 inches of reach, but I think like I was discussing last week, um, Ian Gary's got a lot of kicks, and those kicks are going to outreach those punches. And I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a more of a distance fight, and I think Gary's going to pick him apart, wear him down. I don't know if we see a stoppage. What do you think about a stoppage?
Like I said, I think Gary's going to knock him out. He's got the power to do it. you know, and like you said, he's got a little bit of reach, and I think he's got a little something to prove coming off a loss.
Well, I got DraftKings pulled up right here. I think we need to go ahead and log in and get the bet placed while we're on here. I'm trying to see if they have any other parlays pulled up already. All right, they do.
I
Um,
missed that. Who did you say you were going with?
Ian Gary. I think he's going to be able to
There you
pick it
go.
out from the distance, use the long kicks, piece him apart. I don't know if he wears him down. It is a 5 rounder. I don't know if it goes full five, but I think it's going to be a long distance fight because of the reach with Prates. Prates has got to really dash in. Being explosive like that really only lasts a couple rounds. And if Ian Gary keeps his distance, I think third, fourth round really comes into his favor since we know he can do 25.
Well, he's got what, 7 knockouts, 4 of those first round finishes.
He's got a pretty good record. All right, so I'm gonna do some parlay
and only
bets.
one by and only one by submission.
Do you think it goes the distance?
No.
All right, I'm gonna play some safe bets here. Hang on a second. Let's do. You don't think Ian Gary can submit him?
No, he's only got one submission in all of his wins.
So you're saying it's
If he
time?
does, he just lucks into it, and he's fighting a Brazilian, and just the fact that he's fighting a guy from Brazil tells me no.
Well, true, true. But the reason I ask is because I was getting ready to play some parlay bets, and if there's a submission, and that's where the money is. So
Well,
any
that's
round,
once
any
again, that's because Gary's got one submission in all of his wins. So no, I don't think it's going to go submission. It'll go the distance before it goes submission,
right. Well, I've
unless
got
Gary
my.
gets submitted.
I'm gonna do $15.75 on this one. We're gonna do $5.75 on Machado Gary, and then $1 on all the different ways that it can win in each round, which was an extra $10. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that right now. Boom, locked in. We'll see how those pan out. Just guarantees that I don't lose everything. And but hey, if we come out on top, that's just more money for 315 coming up. But
right?
I wasn't really impressed with any of the other fights on this card. I think they're just gonna sneak in a couple uh, of these fight nights right before 315. But what do you think about 315? We haven't really been talking about that one. Nobody seems really excited
Uh,
about Bilal Muhammad fighting.
I haven't really dialed up on that. I just kind of glanced at it earlier today. Now, on that one, man, I need to look at their last two fights and see how they're doing. But just from what I'm looking at, I'd go with Bella.
JDM possibly. Nobody really likes Bilal Muhammad as a champion, and I think he won, and he's just been talking shit online ever since, and he hasn't defended his title. So he better come through looking spectacular. But there's a lot of guys lining up for this title shot, so we'll see if JDM he
Yeah,
is dynamic. He could get it done. We got a few weeks before this fight even actually kicks off. So we'll talk a lot more about these fights. But I'm a big fan of Shevchenko, so I do like
I'm
the
right there
undercard.
with you. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So we still got some exciting stuff in her weight class, and then maybe a title contention fight right underneath that with Grasso and Silva. So
Who would
some
you
good.
go with on that one? I would say Silva on that one.
Mm,
I like Silva. Put it that way. I
I have to go
like him.
back and watch a couple of their fights again before that happens. I get Silva because she's the new younger up and comer, but I don't know. I think Grasso's pretty dynamic all around. So I don't know. I think Grasso could get it done, but I think it's just too early for me to make a clear pick yet on that one. And same thing with the Saint Denis Alvarez fight. Um, I know what I'm getting with Saint Denis. I don't know what I'm really getting with Alvarez, and he's got a decent record. So I have to look into that a little bit more. So, yeah, nobody's really talking about this pay-per-view card, and I think it's because it's that Bilal Muhammad fighting and just not doesn't seem exciting.
Just not a lot of excitement behind it. And I agree. I just really haven't heard anything on it. So when you asked me about it, I said, well, I kind of glanced at it. I really wasn't even looking at it. I'm more excited about the Friday night fights.
Seeing that, and they're already talking about 316, and everybody's heard more about 316 than 315, and 315 is in 2 weeks.
Well,
316
look
is
at the
going to
co-main
be
event there.
so 316's right here pulled up, and that's going to be really good. Marab and Sean O'Malley too, and then Pena versus Harrison for the bantamweight title. So I think that's a
Both of
that
those killer fights. Killer
they
fights.
and then what you see with Bruno Silva and Joshua Van, that's going to all change. They haven't even fully stacked this card. I I would be surprised if they didn't put a couple more bangers on this card. But yeah, I've heard more about this and more controversy about this because Amanda Nunez already said she's coming back. She's taking the winner, whoever, right there in bantamweight. She's already
Right.
tired of sitting on the sidelines watching them play around with her belt. So she says she's coming back.
Well,
So,
she's my girl. Okay. She's the GOAT.
yeah,
She's the GOAT. What can I
I
say?
think Kayla Harrison takes Pena, and then we get Amanda Harrison, and that's what Amanda Nunez really wants. And then yeah,
That's the
see,
big money fight for sure.
I mean, hey, even if it's Pena wins, they're 1-1, so I mean that's another really good one too.
Like you said, with her coming back, that's going to be the biggest news in UFC when she does. That's like Conor McGregor news.
Well, she announced it on that last
She
pay per view.
retired the most. She retired the most popular female fighter in history.
Double champ. We'll see if she can come back and do it again. Or is she going to be like these other champs who retired, like Cejudo, and come back and then take 4 or 5 losses? Don't know when to quit.
I don't know. We'll see. A lot of times once they've made a little money and everything, the hunger's not quite there. The heart wants to do it, but the body doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm still interested to see if the Lioness comes back. I'll watch her fight either one of those. I'd like to see Kayla Harrison, but I mean, a rubber match. Why not?
I'd, I'd watch it. Trust me.
Yeah, but that's
Lock
what I'm
them both.
saying. Like
Kayla
we're
Harrison's gonna
we've
walk through
already talked
everybody.
we've already talked more 316 than we have 315. And again, I'm just scrolling back over here, and I'm like, it's just I it's not. I know I'm gonna buy the pay per view, but it's not one that I want to buy. I could skip over it, and
Well,
I
you
and
can't
I
you pulled up 316, and I was immediately more excited just
right.
looking at the card. I thought, now there's some fights.
Yeah, I just don't get
No, there's
why.
just not much
Like
on.
on paper, this card just doesn't do it for me. I'm more excited for the co-main than I am that main, and I'm like,
Yeah, me also.
hmm. So,
But I'm a Valentina fan, have been since day one. She's a monster.
but yeah, we got a couple fights coming up before that. But going back to Machado, Garry, Prates. I know Jason was going for Prates. We'll see how that unfolds. We'll get him over here this weekend. We'll talk some trash. We'll probably pull you up on some videos, chat, and get that going on, and have a lot of fun with that. Um, but I think we're correct here. I think we're going to pull this one off. Ian Garry. I put a $15.75 bet. Um, Hopefully, we get a submission. It doesn't matter who. It pays me $40. Let's get a submission, guys.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Hey, Protest can get it done, and if he does it in the third round, I win big off $1. That was $40
Right.
off of $1. So yeah, I'm like, bring it.
Well, once again, and what about Anthony Smith? His last fight, I think he's retiring after this one.
Yeah, I think we said that. I think this Asian guy knocks him out. Jing.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to retire. He's not going to retire on top, put it that way.
I mean, they gave
And
him.
I like Anthony Smith.
He's 10 years younger. He's They're both. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a good one. It'll be he's young. This guy's young, and I think Anthony's like, maybe I can get a submission win over this guy. But I feel like if they're striking, Anthony Smith just doesn't have the fight in him anymore to take any more punches.
No, he's like I said, he might can submit him, but I see Anthony Smith getting knocked out
Yeah, but
or TKO'd. Maybe TKO'd, not knocked
I mean,
out, maybe, but
some
TKO'd.
stoppage. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get beat up.
Well, I think at this point, I just don't see a clear path for him back to the title, and he's been around for a while. I feel like he should have took that win over John Jones. Um,
He's asked for it back.
right. So yeah, he would have been like the other guy to beat John Jones, and because of a
Go in the
disqualification.
history books one way or another. Yeah. Go in the history books one way or another.
That's right. Hey, at least he could have come. Should have taken that knee. You would have got a rematch in there pretty immediately and got yourself a few $1,000,000. I mean, would have been nice.
Exactly.
I get it. You want to be honorable. I think I can still fight, but hey, that was a dirty move. John shouldn't have done it. So,
Hey,
also,
if you're not trying.
speaking of John Jones, you did hear what they announced, right? So, two
No,
things.
I know.
Yep, you ready?
I'm ready.
So, the first thing is Tom Aspinall is going to fight Cyril Gane, and it's going to be for the interim title, is what they're saying. So he's going to defend his interim title against Cyril Gane again because John Jones is playing games.
Well, he can. He's
At
done
this
it because
point,
he can.
well, at this point, like he'd been out for like a year and a half. Yeah, Tom Aspinall, he's like at this point, give me the money. I'm sure they're going to pay him handsomely because nobody's ever defended an interim title once, let alone twice. Um,
Right.
so I mean, it's still a
So
champion
who you
title.
got in that fight? Who you got in that fight?
Yeah, Cyril Gane sucks. Tom Aspinall,
I just wondered if you were on the same page as me. I was waiting for that. I thought, man, they're just serving this guy up.
They had high hopes for Cyril Gane, however the hell you want to say it, but he did not. He has not been able to bring it against any of the top competitors. So, um, nah, Tom Aspinall probably knocks him out. Like Tom Aspinall beats everybody up in like a round and a half.
Exactly. I'm right there with you. I just wanted to see what you had to say about that because to me, they're just serving up Cyril. Just because people want to see Aspinall fight. They're just waiting. It's kind of like, McGregor's talking about coming back and still fighting. Uh,
Chandler.
yeah, fighting Michael Chandler. And no one wants to see Michael Chandler fight anybody right now. They want him
I
to
don't
quit.
know. We would still watch. We'd still see if Connor can bounce his head off the canvas.
I'd still watch it. I mean, just because it's Conor coming back and everything, but I'd like to see him fight someone who's won the last couple of fights, not lost his last two.
Yeah. Who would you put him in there with then?
Oh, I don't know. Put him in there. I don't. I don't know. Who would you put him in there with? He doesn't
I'd
deserve a
give.
title shot. He'd have to climb over somebody.
I feel like he needs a tune-up fight. I feel like he's
Yeah,
not against a tune-up fight. Who would be a good tune-up fight stylistically? You'd want somebody who's going to stand up and strike.
I guess
Mm,
that's Michael Chandler.
right? I mean, they are a good matchup. I mean, Justin Gaethje is a good matchup for him, but Justin Gaethje's going to get a title shot. I don't
Yeah, no, that's a good matchup, and that'd be a good fight, a banger fight. But uh, Gaethje deserves a title shot.
like they've been trying to match Conor McGregor up with Gaethje for a long time, and it just hasn't worked out. I've heard McGregor's coach say that that's a really good stylistic match for them. That they would like a Justin Gaethje. Um, I mean, Poirier's retiring, so you can't put Poirier in there anymore. I guess you bring in Nate Diaz, right? Make him make 155. I guess that's if Connor wants
Right.
to go at 155. But if Connor's like, yeah, I'm not making 155 anymore, that was hard on my body too. 170, and you definitely just don't give him a title fight at 170. There's so many guys in that division. That's a harder
Well,
division.
Connor's walking around at what, about 180 right now, 185 walk around weight.
Maybe. Um,
He looks big.
but even Duplessis, he's out. I heard he broke his shin and broke his leg, broke his shin bone.
That's what I that's what I heard.
So he's out for 6 months. So, uh, yeah, we'll have to see what they even do with that division. Interim, they're about to match him up with Shemaya.
Well, and that's a throw up too. That's a toss up fight. That's a good fight.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of killers in at 170. I think McGregor probably does need to go down to 155. Yeah, and then
If he can get down to
and then
155.
whoever in the top 10 wants the payday. Chandler's game. He's come off
Well,
something. They're both coming off losses. Big payday for Chandler. Chandler could retire handsomely after that.
well, Connor come off the juice long enough to go down to 55. He's got more juice than Minute Maid.
As much snow powder he's been putting up his nose. Um,
That too.
I'm sure he can get that weight cut pretty efficiently right around now.
You have to call up his buddy old Patty and see how he does it.
Yeah, they're beefing. Patty said, "Hey, there you go, Patty and Connor,
That
155."
would I'd do that. Now they got a little bit of a grudge going too. I'd watch that one for sure.
But yeah, Chandler wants that because they did the Ultimate Fighter, but they never fought. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
that and that's a big paycheck.
everybody but like maybe like two guys in the top 10 would probably take that Conor McGregor fight any night because it pays them out so well.
Exactly. They'll take it on a week's notice. Pay. I'll fight him. I'll fight him. Put him against Donald Cerrone or somebody
I mean, Cerrone wanted to come back.
again. Well, yeah. I mean, he got knocked out with his shoulder last time or some stupid shit. I mean, and Donald Cerrone's a monster. If the real Donald shows up, put it that way. I've
Nate
seen him
wants
go
to
in there and
come
just walk
back.
through people. Then I've seen him walk
At,
through.
at 170, you do Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. There you go.
Oh,
You
I
wouldn't
saw
watch
your
that?
boy. Yeah, I watched that. Of course, I watched that.
Who'd you see?
Oh, I was just seeing some news on your boxing boy. What's his name? Um, Jake Paul got him a new fight signed. He's going to fight an ex champion, an ex drug addict champion now.
Well, if the guy's not currently ranked in the top 15, then I don't care about it.
Oh no, he's not ranked. He's of course his dad was the greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah, I want a ranked fighter though. Like, I want to see that Tommy Fury rematch. It was close enough. I don't know,
Well, that's the only time he's ever fought a real fighter, and he lost.
but he didn't get beat.
Anyway, I just
He
interesting
lost,
news. I
but
just
he didn't
thought
get
it.
beat. It
I
wasn't
just thought
like
it was interesting that he's still signing fights.
it wasn't like your classic Fury ass whooping like you would think it was going to be. Like, so he's gotten a little better. Let's put him in there with Fury again. Why not? I don't know.
Hey, I'm
What
not
else
going to
has
throw a lot
Fury
of
got?
shade on. It's hard to throw a lot of shade out there, because the guy's laughing all the way to the bank, and you know he's serious about what he's doing, and he's looked better in every fight. I'll have to give him that much. So good for Jake.
But after that
But I
Mike
said
Tyson
last time,
one,
I'm not going to watch any of these.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch any stupid fights anymore. And then here he comes with another stupid fight.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I'm over it unless he's fighting a ranked fighter. He's had champions say, "Come up and I'll give you a shot," and he hasn't taken it. So I don't know. Is he the man or isn't he? Step up. If if somebody's giving you the title shot, you gotta take that Rocky moment, right? Isn't that how Rocky did it?
That's right. Well, that's how I would do it. Put it that way. I'd give him
So,
the old one too. You know me.
all right. Well, I got my bet
Uh,
placed. We'll have to play it out. I'll get Jason on while I'm here. We'll see if we can ring you up and put you on as well. I think
all
we're
right.
locked in. Ian Garry. We think Anthony Smith goes out on his shield for retirement. We skipping over boring ass 315. Go Shevchenko, and then we're gonna go to 316 where we're saying, man, that's a good woman fight. Who does the Linus get next? And then I think Marab O'Malley goes the same way it did the first one.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's in there posing, like doing the captain's look, uh, doing weird, funny shit Marab does. So yeah. I think
I'm right
Marab's
there
a good
with you.
champ. I think he's pretty gonna dominate for a minute. Hey, O'Malley's long and stretchy, and he's got a good punch. He can definitely do it like he did Aljo. He can definitely win. I just don't think he's gonna. I think Marab's gonna go in there and wrestle him and throw him on the ground, tire him out, and either point him out or finish him on the ground with some ground and pound. Um,
Well,
and I think Kayla Harrison does the same thing to Juliana Pena. Think Pena tries to get a couple submissions, doesn't work. Kayla's just going to bash her up and beat her up.
yeah, put her on the ground and ground her down. And I'm right there with you. Sean O'Malley, if he can keep it standing up, he's got a pretty good shot at it. But if he gets put on the ground, he never has an answer.
Yeah, yeah, it's what happens to those kickboxers. So that's something they need to overcome. They're good enough to get up there to the champion level, though. So, like I said, O'Malley can he. There's avenues for him to do it. I just find it. I'd be surprised if Marab wasn't a big favorite for that one. Um, and then I
Well,
didn't
you never
even.
know. It may be O'Malley at the end right there. Let's go.
I was gonna
We'll
see if they
see.
even have any odds up, early odds up. Yeah. Wow, Kayla Harrison 6-1 odds to beat Pena right now.
Wow.
Yeah, those are that's pretty lopsided. And then that, yep, Marab two uh minus 285, so 2.8 to 1 to beat Sean O'Malley. Oh, well, I didn't even think of that.
That could
The
change too.
DraftKings says that's a good matchup. Dan Hooker versus Conor McGregor. Man, I would
That
definitely
is a
watch
good
Dan Hooker and Conor McGregor. If Conor was going to come back and wanted, he's like 6th or 5th ranked, like that's still like a top 10 ranked guy, and Dan Hooker puts on a show and Conor likes to put on a show. I think that would be a good one.
I didn't even think about Dan Hooker. Didn't cross my mind, but you're right, man. That'd be a banger.
Yeah, and they have Connor a slight favorite over Dan Hooker. Right now, if John Jones Aspinall went off, they got Aspinall as a slight favorite. If they think 2.5 to 1 Islam beats Taporia, and then they think it's still a coin flip between Alex and Ant Goliath, with Ant Goliath being a slight favorite.
What do you think about that?
On that Alex rematch,
Yeah.
I mean, if the rumors were true that he wasn't feeling good and he had a broken hand, then we get a different fight. We get because everybody was saying that he looked off. I thought he looked off. I mean, if we
I
got more
thought he
punch,
looked off.
he went rounds without throwing a single punch. That's pretty uncommon. So I think we get an active Pereira. I think we get a slightly different fight. Probably a finish if he connects with on Ant Goliath a few times. Ant Goliath is good and dangerous, but I would reverse that those odds. So hey, when it comes around, I'll take that Alex Pereira bet. I bet $70 on
Well,
him last time and lost, so I'll put that $50 back on him and see if I can get it back.
the only positive about Ankalaev is that he's coming in there with confidence. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, he was confident in the first one. And he did good job. I mean,
Well, he won. That's pretty good.
Taporia is going to come in cocky. Nobody's been able to beat Taporia, and he's going to get a title fight pretty soon. So, well, they said if he goes up against Makachev, he loses to Makachev. Right now, they think John
I think
Jones is the underdog against Aspinall.
I would
Man,
never bet against John Jones. I think that's a losing proposition.
man, this six to
You know,
one for Kayla Harrison is crazy.
that is crazy. I'd bet on that just because of that spread. Put $1 on it.
I mean, no, that means if you put $1 on Kayla Harrison, you get like 6 cents back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm doing it back asswards.
Six
Put $1 on
16
Pena.
cents. Yeah, it'd be
Put a
16,
dollar on what do you get if you put $2 on Pena?
like 8 or 9 bucks. It you'd win
10.80.
8. Yeah, you'd win an additional $8.80. So you'd get 10.80 on a $2 bet. That's not bad, right?
Hey, that's the long shot. You'd have to do that just 'cause. Hey, because
Some
Pena's got a shot. She's got a puncher's shot, you know what I mean? She can win. It's not like she doesn't have a chance.
and as we get a lot closer to that being finalized, I'm sure that will fluctuate and it could go more in her favor and it could go less in her favor. So could change. Uh, Way too early to place a bet on that, in my opinion.
We'll see. We'll see who makes weight or if anybody breaks a toe or
Right. See how the weight cuts go because Kayla's cutting a lot of weight and she doesn't, I know it's hard on her. So I like to see how that goes too. You're right. But you know what? I'm
she's so big.
not excited about this Bilal card. This one seems pretty boring. They think Bilal's got this, and they think Shevchenko is the underdog. Well, I'm probably gonna put a bet on Shevchenko. Hey, you'll double your whatever you bet on Shevchenko, you're guaranteed to double your money at the moment.
I would go with her anyway.
Yeah, so we got a lot of fights coming up well before then, but Machado Gary, we already got the money down, and Anthony, where if we were going to bet on the undercard, we'd say Anthony's going to lose. Well, give a plug to your channel you're starting up, Olwhitee.
Come see me at Owhittee checking stuff out.
All right, it's a new
We'll be
YouTube
checking stuff
channel.
out. We're gonna check everybody. We're gonna check everybody out. Check everything out. Everything from movies, videos, TV. We're gonna check out my dog Sadie, see what she's up to in the afternoon. We're gonna check everything out.
Yeah, lots of stuff. And then he'll come on here and talk fights over here with me. But if you want
Hey,
to
we'll check
you
out
want to
our
see
your youngest brother's
UFOs,
got
you
a
want to
baby coming.
yeah, you want to see family stuff, you want to see all that stuff, that's where you check it out cuz checking it out with old Whitey.
Hey, I'm gonna bring my wife on to talk about Bigfoot. That's another story, and we will talk about it.
Oh, let me know. I'm going to definitely watch that one.
Hey, maybe you can join us.
Got to find a good Bigfoot video to watch. I'll see if I can help you find one. A good one that you can use. That'd be fun. Well, sounds fun.
All
Um,
right, son. I love you.
can't
I'll see you
yeah.
next time.
So go over there, guys. Well, I'll put links in that as soon as he's got that all ready for us. In the descriptions of the videos that he's on. We'll have Jason here on the weekend. If you made it this far, go ahead and subscribe. Go hit the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. And go ahead and get in the comments. Tell us what you think about those bets. You guys think those are off the wall crazy? You think Ian Gary's going to lose? What do you think about those future fights? Let us know in the comments, and we'll reply to any of them that pop up. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys soon. Peace out.